bloody cold.
Oh, it must have been cold if you were telling me it was cold.
Yeah.
Lovely, yeah.
I went down to the harbour for breakfast, and my because of course I sat in the wind, and my fingers were actually feeling like icy.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel so sorry for you. It must have been, what, 15? My God. Oh, God.
Oh, no, it was probably about, I don't know, 6 or 7.
Yeah, the wind chill.
This morning the wind chill factor was, I think, 2.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
This morning. Because it was that when I went to work.
You lot would just be dead, wouldn't you? I say you would not come.
What, and you would?
Yeah, we would. We're used to minuses. You lot,
yep.
Aussie pansies.
Them fighting words.
I don't think I've ever been called a pansy.
A few years ago when I was still commuting into London, and it was a really bitterly cold day, and I turned up at the station and there was ice and snow all over the platform. And the station master came out and he said, "I'm really sorry, but we couldn't deal with it because there's a box up the end of the platform,
oi, oi, oi,
which has got adverse weather condition equipment in it, but we couldn't get it open because the lock's frozen."
Yeah, that's what happens though. We don't cope with it. We don't cope with extremes. It's sad, really. Yeah. Get a few leaves on the railway lines and the trains don't run.
So if you've got 30 today, based on our last conversation, if you don't have AC and you've got 30 today, how are you keeping cool?
Yeah.
I'll show you. Can you see my fan?
Oh, yes.
Fan on, curtain shut, windows and
you
doors.
haven't got... Do you get the humidity?
Sometimes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not like you.
Depends, really. It's not all. It's not all the time.
It's still got
the
nice
humidity
breeze.
that's the killer here.
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah.
Impossible.
The heat's not a problem. It's the humidity.
Yeah, but you get long seasons of it, don't you? Well, normally when it's not raining.
As soon as winter's over, the humidity will start.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't.
And it's not every day.
Yeah.
No.
And it'll be absolutely horrible till about 10, 11 o'clock because the air will be still. And then come lunchtime, the breeze will pick up and blow it all away. But until then,
sticky as. Yeah.
It's nasty.
Yeah.
And then if you're really unlucky, about 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, it comes back.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting here and it's quite breezy. Actually, that's a lot.
Gentle breeze.
The fan.
Or is it you? I'm not sure.
The fan. It's not breezy at all. I'm thinking, it's breezy here. So I realise I've got the fan on. No, it's not breezy. But yeah.
A couple of years ago, I went to Townsville in the middle of the wet season, and by the time I got into Townsville, it was 1 o'clock in the morning, and it was still 36 degrees at 1 o'clock in the morning. Got out of the car, and you could have cut the air with a knife. It was so thick and humid.
Yeah, I'd hate it. I'd hate it. I'd be the most miserable bitch going. I would absolutely.
The only time I've experienced that was in Singapore. It's very, very humid there, and being so close to the equator, I've never really witnessed it before. But you know, at 7 o'clock in the morning, all of a sudden it's light, and then 7 o'clock in the evening, all of a sudden it's dark. That's it. There's no dusk or twilight. It's bang, bang. That's it. And it's like walking into a sauna. I love Singapore.
Were you there experienced a thunderstorm in Singapore?
No, I didn't actually, but I did in the Florida Keys once, and I'd never seen anything like it since.
My first ever thunderstorm in Singapore, I thought the bombs started dropping. It was so loud. Really? It terrified me.
I think a few months back, we had quite a big storm here, and my dad had never seen lightning like it. He said it was like a big dome. He said, and he honestly thought someone had dropped a bomb because he said it was loud and so bright and so weird. He was like, what is going on? And for my dad, who was quite a realist, it was a bit like, must have scared you, Dad.
Yeah. No, I just think like everything, the storms are getting worse everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, Ian put up a post the other day actually about what is it? A cruise ship taking shelter in Jervis Bay?
I saw that.
Funny enough, we just went out for a drive to have a look and see how big the swell was coming into the bay. Now, normally Jervis Bay is just a still, flat water bay, and when I when we were getting there, we noticed this spaceship, I think. We noticed a cruise ship sitting inside the bay, which is really... The spaceship was there too. That didn't worry me. That was fine. But the cruise ship... they have naval boats, and I had to do a double take to see if it wasn't a new naval boat that was there. We hadn't seen the shape of. But no, sure enough, it was a cruise ship. So I put it up on Facebook, and funny enough, one of my colleagues, well, ex-colleagues, was on the boat. And I just sort of asked her,
Wow.
was it just the weather or had some other significant incident happen? She said, no, it was just the weather. Now, we were at the beach. You might have seen her posted something in the morning. We were at a beach that morning at about 9:30, 10 o'clock. It was dead calm. Between that time and later in the afternoon, that's how quick that swell came up to force an ocean liner back into the bay for safekeeping. Yeah, they got back today, but the weather
Must have been bad.
It was crazy. Yeah,
I've just heard on the radio that they're going to have a really, really bad storm at the Paris Olympics today. It's a level storm or something they're expecting.
Well, they've got issues with the same again. They spent billions of dollars on it. Now they can't do the triathlon in it. Yeah.
The triathlon.
The rain they had.
Oh yeah, because it's dirty. But they're going to do it tomorrow. So how's it going to change between today and tomorrow?
Hoover.
Crop. What? Hoover?
Paris has the same council as Shoalhaven down here. Must be.
Hoover. As in clean it.
You're being stupid now. But
So
it isn't, is it?
So what you get? I'm just
Come on,
I'm just going to say I've been to work.
We had a couple of birthdays.
Me too.
My daughter has a birthday in a couple of days, but her partner, her boyfriend came down, and he's doing his fire and rescue course at the moment. So he's locked away there for 8 or 9 weeks, and he's just about the end of that. So he came down on the weekend, and we celebrated her birthday. That's about it. Much. Just enjoying the good weather. We've had some nice. It's freezing cold in the days. It's dry and it's there's sun out from time to time, which is a big change after the last 4 or 5 months of just constant rain. Yeah, it's been good. That's me. I'm pretty easy.
When the wind drops, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
You're going to have to change your crops out. What do you grow in Australia? Is it a lot of fruit, citrus, avocados? I don't know. What do you grow there?
Depends where you are.
Everything.
Yeah, it depends.
Pretty fertile.
So if you go sort of south, there's a lot of it's a lot of grain. So wheat, barley, all the rest of it. In Western Australia, they've got some. They call it the wheat belt. There's huge areas there. And then we've got, depending on the altitude, so up in some of the mountains, they grow apples.
Yeah.
But then as you go further north, you start to get into the tropics.
Tropical stuff.
So you've got bananas. So
Kiwi.
Once you get to, say...
Mangoes.
Yeah, once you get to Coffs Harbour.
Mm-hmm.
So Coffs Harbour's about, 500 kilometres north. Once you get to there, you're in the subtropics. So, you're getting bananas, macadamias.
Wow.
And then if you go to North Queensland, then you're doing avocados, guavas, all the tropical fruits.
So you don't have to buy anything in, or do you still buy it all?
Crazy.
We sell it off and then buy stuff in.
100%. Still best oranges.
Yeah.
So-
a bit like us with our seafood.
Oranges.
Well, it's like our seafood, isn't it, Mike? We have Scotland, we have the best langoustines and shellfish. And we send it all to Spain because no bugger here wants to eat it. It's like, come on.
Yeah. Same.
It's crazy how stuff gets shipped around. I was restoring a lamp a couple of years back, and it was a chandelier, and I needed a specific droplet that was missing. And a lot of it gets made in Czechoslovakia, glass products. But I bought it online from a company in Detroit, the one I wanted, and it was shipped from Czechoslovakia to Detroit, then back to me in the UK. I mean, how...
It's all crazy.
It's the same here. You go to get some pineapple and it's imported from,
Florida.
Taiwan, or not necessarily Taiwan, but the Philippines or whatever. And it's like, why? We grow it.
Right up
Yeah,
the
but I
road.
think that's seasonal because we one of the things I think we do well here in Australia is we eat very seasonally.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
So,
don't.
for instance, cherries. You can only get cherries for 6 weeks of the year, a month of the year. That's
Over
it.
Christmas.
But one of the
Over
things that Vicky and I like doing is walking through the supermarkets when we go to the UK to see where all your stuff comes from, because on the whole, most of our food stuff does come from Australia. You may get about 90%, but so for instance, the tropical fruit has to travel if it's, say, northwestern Australia, so your top of Western Australia, that's 5,000 kilometres.
Yeah.
So it still travels, but it's in one
a long
country.
way.
Whereas, if we go around your supermarkets and we're looking at tomatoes that coming from the Netherlands,
Spain.
stuff that's coming from Italy
Spain,
or
Italy,
Turkey or that sort of stuff,
Yeah.
to us, that's still the same country.
Yeah.
We're that big. So, but it is really. So, for instance, I think one year you were selling New Zealand apples cheaper than we could buy them, and they're only 2 hours over the water.
Yeah, well, that's like when I go to New
Over
Zealand
the
to see my brother. I went in a supermarket and picked up a piece of New Zealand lamb, and it was more expensive in New Zealand than it is in UK.
Yeah.
Makes
Tell me about it.
no sense.
Lamb's now the dearest meat you can buy in Australia, and we've got sheep galore.
Why? Why? What is going
We
on?
export it all.
You've got a country full of sheep, haven't you?
Well, no, that's New Zealand, but we do have quite a few.
Oh, okay.
And what about kangaroo then? Do you all eat that over there, or do you all think they're cute and bouncy?
You can eat it.
Yeah.
Sell it in
You
the
can eat
supermarket.
it. I don't particularly like the flavour myself.
It's very.
What does it taste like?
And it's very
Gamey. It's really gamey.
Yeah. It's a good chew. You've got to chew the stuff.
That catches you on the whole bay.
I'm gonna have to put a boom boom in there somewhere.
Boom boom. You are quite funny, Mike. You tell quite long stories sometimes, and then all of a sudden you go bang with a good old punchline. You do make me laugh.
I have a bit of a reputation for telling jokes, and I remember so many of them. No matter, actually, for every one I remember, I've forgotten 5, and I really get it from my dad. He was a great joke teller, and people say to me, "How do you remember them?" And it's not how, it's why. And it's the reason why is I love making people laugh.
Yeah.
And for me, I can be in a conversation like this. It'll probably happen. That happened just then. Someone will say one word, and it will remind
triggers
me
it
that I told 7 years.
See, I can't remember what I did an hour ago, but I can remember any song. I can sing a song from front to back, but I can't remember what I did 10 minutes ago.
Yeah. I can't do jokes. I can't tell jokes.
Well, I am a joke.
No, you're not.
I feel the same way.
I was asked by a mate of mine who runs a charity to. He was doing a quiz evening, and he said at the break when people have something to eat, would you stand up and tell a few jokes? I said, well, yeah, if you really want me to, and then promote the charity. It was it's called Cruise. It's helping people with bereavement, and he sent me a copy flyer. And it said at the break, Mike Sparks, comedian. I said, and contacted Ray straight away and said, no, I'm not a comedian. I'm not a comedian. I can tell jokes, but I'm not a comedian. And he said, it's too late. They've already gone out. Oh, Jesus. I did it, but it was so difficult because it was a mixed group of children. So I had to be really careful about what jokes I told. But
it says you're all reconnecting again. I don't know what's going on, apart from Lisa.
Because I'm so connected.
We are connected. Us late. Minus Ian.
Oh no, let's not start this again, please.
I know. I was so hoping we weren't going to have this today.
I've lost everybody.
No.
So what's doing it, Michael?
It's just the internet connection.
Oh, there he is.
Back.
The first time was perfect, wasn't it?
So what shifts me off is I'm in the same boat as Ian's post earlier about the judicial system. I have said for a long time the amount of people that are being put out on bail.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
That just should not, could not be out there. Is that the same in England?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look, what happened, the reason I picked it up was because...
I can't find the words to say what I think about that.
Yeah, the reason I put that up was there's a judge out there who stated that the person was a danger to the public and a high risk of danger to the public, yet they still chose to give him one last... What happens if that person goes and does exactly the same thing again? Does that make the judge culpable? I think it should.
Yeah,
absolutely. They have a responsibility to the public.
I do too.
They have.
They wouldn't be so keen on doing it then, would they?
They're too gutless.
The first duty of any government is to protect its people.
Top and centre. That's the only.
We've had. Yeah, it's quite hard. We've had lots of cases like that where they've been put out on bail and then they've actually killed. Say it was a stalker, then go and kill them. Oh my God! You just think
there's
Christ.
quite a well-known case of a lady that a young woman that was walking in Victoria home from dinner with friends, and she was killed by a man that was out on bail.
Oh, it's just terrible. They should release some of these. I mean, there was the protesters the other day. The what they called Mike the
Stop Oil Group.
Stop Oil Group. Yeah, they got done the other day they got put away for 5 years for stopping the M25, which is a big motorway. They glued themselves to the road.
No.
I think 5 years. I know what they did. They didn't. I think it's too long. You know what they did, and in a way, I'm thinking, good for them. They're actually trying to stop us from fucking.
Yeah.
But then
I
again,
think
part of
they
me
should be doing it in China and India.
They're disrupting everyone's lives in the process, though.
I know, but what's going to happen?
1%.
But when you they get 5 years for doing something like that, and someone gets a year and a half for killing someone. I don't get it. It's completely wrong. Yeah.
That's right.
That's where it's screwed. That's where it's screwed.
Yeah, we have so many judges and magistrates sitting on the bench that just you can't help but shake your head.
Yeah, why are they there?
Well,
but I think that whole situation, that whole system needs to change. I think it should be a group of normal people, with life experiences, not some bod that sits up there that's been to Eton, that has got a very privileged life. Not saying they all have, but it needs to be changed. It's too old-fashioned.
I wonder whether these same judges think that they're immune to their family being injured like that other guy was from the same dickhead that they sent out on the streets again.
And this is my thing. I have this discussion with my mum because she said sometimes she doesn't wish ill on anyone.
No.
But if it happened to one of their family, what would they do?
The only way it'll change.
Bring back hanging, I say.
And the one problem we have here, and it's probably the same in any developed country or anywhere else, is that the young people know that until they turn the age of 18 in Australia, they're not going to be tried as adults. And there's another system that lays under it.
Yeah.
Had a discussion about this before, but the layer underneath that is the youth justice system. It's like unfortunately, it's almost a university of criminology. You just get some allows them to jump the next stage and up and the next stage. But the reality is these young ones are smart. They realise there's nothing going to touch them. The reality is if they do an adult crime or a crime that an adult normally you would expect would commit, they need to do adult time. There's none of these, 3 months with a hand around your leg, staying at home watching your tellies and playing computer games. No. You get 25 years in jail. And whether it's a kiddie jail, I don't care, but don't come out for 25 years, full stop.
Or bring back the chain gangs, get them to do the jobs, go in the road, fill up the potholes, go and make, don't just stick them in the jail, make them do something.
Yeah, true too.
It's just ridiculous. We're paying for them to sit in their asses.
Yeah.
I'm very interested in the judicial system, more about court procedures and things. And I read a book recently by a lady called Wendy Joseph, who was one of the very few QCs then, they're now KCs, obviously King's Counsel, who worked at the Old Bailey. She was a judge. And it was a real enlightenment because it explained the sentencing processes that they have to go through. And it is that's why sometimes they'll take 2 weeks to pass sentence. It's a flow chart. And, she actually says in the book, we don't necessarily agree with it, but these are the guidelines we are given, and we have to go through it. It made me realise how difficult it is, because you sit there and think, well, why don't you just give them 25 years and throw away the key? When someone who's murdered someone has only got 5 years. But then when you look at how the processes they have to follow, that's why you end up with these things. It's the processes that are wrong, not the judges.
And then you head over to the States and you get 250 years.
Yes.
And you 5
Yeah. Yeah, they don't
and chain gangs.
add them together, do they? If you get,
or you get in death sentence.
you get one 20-year sentence for one thing and another 20-year sentence
something.
for another thing.
Yeah.
You don't
Especially if you're black.
40 years.
Yeah, possibly,
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I say bring back hanging, but unless that person was absolute, I don't know. It's a really fine line, isn't it? Because they could have mental illness, but I don't know. If someone like Rose West, who killed and her husband Fred West, who killed all their family,
Yeah.
chopped them up basically, and all their children, and buried them, and they were horrible, tortured them. Get rid of them. Who needs them? Mara Hindley. Get rid of her.
That's it. And you know what? I don't hide the fact that I am a huge advocate for mental health, but it seems to be the go-to catchphrase for everyone that gets caught doing anything.
Yeah.
And I think it hurts those with mental health. At the end of the day, mental health or not, you know right from wrong.
Yeah, of course you do.
The majority. You know,
unless you're totally
someone like Rosemary West was just saying, they'd done it once and cried mental health. You go, okay, maybe, but you don't keep going back and doing it again and again and again. It's, you know, I just think that disparages those that really do have genuine
need help.
Issues.
Yeah.
Yes.
And someone that probably needs help probably doesn't keep going out and killing. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
Well, most people with genuine mental health issues are more of a danger themselves than others, you know. Yeah. And
I think the mental health system, I mean,
I just think
all of us here,
all
either in Australia or the UK,
attached to it.
I've dropped out. I'll keep talking just in case.
I mean, I think was it yesterday, Mike? There was that young 17-year-old in Stockport that went into.
It's in a place called Southport, which is on the coast near Liverpool. They don't actually know the motive now, but at a youth club there was a dance studio for children on holiday, school holidays, and he went in there with a knife and stabbed 13 people, 9 of them children, 2 of those are dead, and they've arrested him. Obviously, they've been careful. They haven't said he is the culprit, but it very much looks like it. They haven't linked it to any terror thing, but there's no suggestion of any motive for them. On the news, they said they're struggling to find out why. It's just it's stunned the nation. It really
makes me go cold. It gives me goosebumps. I don't understand. But then you know what? I don't actually understand human race. Full stop. I mean, as we've said before, look at all the wars that are going on in Gaza and Israel, and that's children. You know, people are killing children, and I don't get it.
Interestingly, a very good friend of ours is a very, very eminent King's Counsel and has prosecuted for the Crown on some very, very prominent cases. And he says, amongst his professional colleagues, they are against the death penalty for the reason that it can sway a jury. Because if we convict this person,
condemn somebody,
so they're not the barristers are not pro it for that reason.
Okay,
you can understand it.
Yeah, you can.
I don't know. I think if I was a jury member and I heard some horrific things that somebody had done, I'd just go, get rid of it.
I agree with your sentiment, Dawn, but
because we're paying for them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
just wrong.
They don't deserve the air. I'm afraid. I don't think. Anyway.
So what about you, Mike? What's got on your?
Do you know? I thought about this, and apart from insurance companies, who I hate with a passion, and I'm having a fight with another one, but the thing that's really got on my tits this week, and this is really, really pathetic and shows my old age. Cling film and silver foil comes in a roll, right?
Totally with you.
I do it properly. I undo it, and then you put the roll back in the box, and you push the ends in, so that acts like an axis, and you pull it off, and you try to tear the fucker. It never tears on that serrated edge. What's the point of it?
And if you try hard, you cut yourself.
Yeah, I've done that. I nearly took it back to the supermarket. Says it's fucking useless. Yeah, so that's what's got on my tits this week.
Okay, Tom.
Yeah, it really does annoy me.
First world problem. Look at that.
Sorry, I missed that.
I said first world problems.
Oh, absolutely. I was out walking the dog this morning, and I was thinking I'm going to mention that, and I thought that to myself, it is a first world problem without a doubt. Yeah.
Yeah, but it still pissed you off. It doesn't matter how big, does it?
No, that's right.
I haven't even got anything that's pissed me off this week. I've had a really good week.
Oh, if we work hard enough, we could probably piss you off.
Go for it.
What about you, Michael?
What's really got on my goat this week is, and it's not in either of our countries. It's knob JD Vance in America.
Don't get me started.
Oh my God! Just like the post I did the other day, how can someone so ignorant be in such a position of power? Is beyond me.
Well, look at who put him there.
Yeah. He's just going to come back and bite him on the arse. When there cannot be a childless, not by choice person in the US who's now going to put his vote or her vote that way. What an arsehole.
And you know what? I'm dumbfounded. I follow the US news and their political scene mainly because I sit there astonished most of the time and how gullible some of them can be. But Biden that he's running against, I think they regret the JD choice myself. I really do. But if I was an American, I'd be voting blue, that's for sure. So, it's... but look at what she's done in a week.
Yeah,
My goodness.
Smart lady.
For president,
Yep.
I think,
and won't that just annoy the hell out of so many people?
I think the Oompa Loompa just
good.
Quite simple.
I think she's got a work cut out for her. I mean, look, I'd love to see her become president, but female of colour,
I think she'll do it.
Really got her work cut out for her.
Yeah.
She'll do it.
She'll do it.
I hope so.
I hope she does.
Gosh, yeah.
I hope she does.
And
yeah, I do.
Personally, I think they know that they're in trouble now.
Yeah, I've been watching the news as much because I like sport, but I haven't heard
I think she's a far more creditable opponent to Trump than
Sorry, Ian, didn't get you.
What did you say?
Me.
What did you say?
I can't even...
Yeah, I'm here.
No, I can't.
I can.
Yeah.
I can see you.
I can see you, Ian.
No, not if you're not.
I think that...
Well, if you can see him, that's good. Has he got a red dot?
Yeah.
Yep. 97%.
That's all
I
I need to worry about.
I have a red dot. There it is.
You got a red dot,
Right
Ian.
there.
Oh, I didn't know he had red dots. Oh, yeah, I can see it now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think that Vance guy is just a mini-me for Trump. He just needs...
Yeah.
Your mic, Ian, is not great. It really cuts out.
Oh,
I don't think it's his mic. I think it's just the connection.
yeah, everything's...
Okay.
Yeah. Everything's plugged in. No.
Yeah, he's talking, but it sort of goes in and out a bit. But then I think it's good you Australians hold your nose and you talk like that. Anyway.
Very good.
So,
Michael?
So what have you been watching on TV? Who's been watching any decent shows, reading books? What recommendations have you got? I've got nothing because I've not been doing anything except watching YouTube. But
I watched a series called Penny Dreadful on Netflix, and I love it because it's werewolves, witches, Dracula.
Oh,
really good.
Oh, don't do that.
Yeah.
I just went back and binged Ally McBeal.
Oh my God, I used to love that.
Do you know what? I loved every minute of it. And last night I had one episode left to go, and it was like 11:15. I went, no, I've got to go to bed. I got up early enough before I went to work this morning so I could watch that last episode. Yeah.
I used to love. I forgot about that, and I used to like Moonlighting with Bruce Willis and Sybil Shepherd, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed watching Ally.
Do you know that TV show started in 1997?
Yeah.
So it's nearly 30 years old.
Correct.
Oh no, it's scary. We're old.
Correct. I had toddlers.
I don't know.
I've got this habit of when I'm watching TV or seeing a movie, I'll go, like you pick an old movie and you're watching it, and then I've got a bad habit of, oh, when was that, mate?
I know, it scares you.
Yeah, I do that.
And isn't it funny, though, what we refer to as an old movie?
Yeah. Forrest Gump's old
is
now.
literally 30 years ago now. It's not
Yeah, that's Forrest
50,
Gump
60,
30
70
years
years
old.
ago.
Oh, my
Yeah.
God. Scary
I know.
shit.
Getting old.
You all right, Ian?
Sorry?
Every now and again he moves so
No.
he shows us he's not a whore.
Yeah,
You on the ship?
sure.
See? He's a shore.
No,
Oh, it's them old waves, isn't it?
I'm trying to find out if my microphone's covered by the tape I've got holding everything.
So
through.
you want to talk about Barry Wood, Dawn? Because the others
Who's
missed out.
Barry Wood?
The others
You
missed out
know.
the story on that.
Oh, yeah. I remember the story now.
All they got was a dick pic in our messengers.
Oh, they must have thought, what's going on there?
Lovely. Sorry, I missed it.
Well, no, but there is a story to it. Okay. So, listen, guys, it was really embarrassing. So, been living here a year, I decided I really need to go to the local village hall for the coffee morning, but kept putting it off because I get really anxious and I'm not good meeting new people, believe it or not. So anyway, this particular Thursday, got up, put my big girl knickers on and thought, come on, Dawn, get over there. So I went over there, only to find out that the door was locked and it changed to Fridays. So I had to do it all again the next day. Walks in there, 2 tables of old coffin dodgers, if you like. Really old people. So I thought, right, I'm going to go and sit down with that lady over there. Sat next to a woman, believe it or not, comes from Essex and has friends where I used to live. So we're chatting away. So then she says to me, Dawn, have you got children or grandchildren? I went, well, I haven't got grandchildren, but I've got children. Hang on, I'll get my phone out. And she's like leaning on my shoulder and I will show you my kids. So, unbeknown to me, my friend Marcel and I have got a joke. So it's a big man with a very hard penis.
A very large.
Very,
big
very
one.
large penis. It's an air freshener. It's a joke. So every time I go to her house, I hang it somewhere around her house. She finds it, and then vice versa. It's an ongoing joke. Well, I'd sent her a picture of it. How's Barry? Anyway, Linda's on my shoulder. I'm whizzing through my phone, showing her my children. Unbeknownst to me, a big picture of big man with a big cock. So and she sort of shuffles back, and I'm like, shit. Get out of this place. Right, so that was Barry's story. Not just dick pics, it was just embarrassing. I haven't been back. So
I'll see. I'll see if I can put that picture. I'll put that picture in the video, but I'll blur out all the stuff that will get us in trouble, just so people can understand.
You have to blur out the whole picture because it must come up to his head.
I think that guy would have needed I think he would have needed a blood transfusion every time he got, a little bit of whoop.
So that's the story.
I think.
It was very embarrassing.
I now understand it. Right, I understand why that picture was there, because it came up.
Yes. Yes.
What sort of group have I got involved with here?
Yeah, it wasn't Dawn just sending big willy dick pics. I've never done that in my life. I don't get that.
Well, you have now.
You can always start sometime.
That reminds me of a joke when you said about the village hall, because I went to a meeting at the local village hall last night for people who suffer from premature ejaculation, but it turns out it's tonight.
God.
I just spotted your boomerang, Dawn.
Yes.
I mentioned that
Boomerang?
last time.
Behind your head. I didn't notice it last time.
Yeah, I don't actually know where I got it from, to be fair.
Australia, maybe.
Yeah, but I thought my brother had given it to me in New Zealand, but he said he hasn't, so I don't really know.
The
Did
fact
we give
that
it to
you've
you?
got it on the wall proves one of two things. Either you've never thrown it, or it does come back.
Yeah, it came back, went just there.
Did we give it to you?
I don't know, did you?
I don't know. I've got no idea. I'll have to ask Vicky. Actually, I'll send her a
I don't
message.
know.
She'll know.
What's the
She'll
origins
know.
of a boomerang?
What's the what?
What's the origins of a boomerang? How did they? Why?
Well, they didn't lose the bastards, did they?
Well,
They
they go back.
It's a hunting tool.
Hunting tool.
Yeah.
Oh,
The idea was if it hit something.
Went for spreading your butter, Mike.
Not for us. Not for Mike. Not for Michael, Ian, and I though.
what was it?
Yeah,
used for,
and can you see that here? Look, this here. Can you see that funny mask?
I'm a bit worried. I'm going to see another dick pic somewhere.
No.
Oh,
Did you make that,
is that the guy from the Goonies?
I don't know what it is. So there is a story to that. So when I was married to John, and he worked in the uni, and he had to go on a conference to New Orleans, and I happened to go with him. And that was in a shop, and I said, "Oh, I really love that. It's really original. Really, really want it." So we bought it anyway. Bugger me. Went round the market, and there's thousands of them. I've carried it around for ages, thinking it was original, and it was like, yeah.
And is that the Queen behind you as well?
Yeah.
I noticed that.
Did you paint that?
That's quite an iconic image of her, though. I forget who did that.
Well, that's not. Is that an iconic
with tats?
It's well known.
I don't know who done it. It was just a print, but I really liked it. It belongs to Tim.
Speaking of royalty, yesterday at work, we received a donation from a deceased estate. So I was going through quite a lot of their china and stuff like that, and I unearthed a mug, which was a coronation mug for King George.
Wow.
Wow. Nice.
Which one? Yeah, that'd be 6th.
Yeah.
God knows.
So it was the coronation mug. It's got him and Elizabeth.
Mary. Elizabeth.
Yeah. It was. I've seen quite a lot of different memorabilia over the years, but I've never seen one that old. Like
the value of those comes in who made it. If you look underneath,
that's correct. Correct. Yeah.
I've got a few in the garage that were my ex's grandparents. They're just wrapped up.
The real valuable ones are Edward VIII, because he was never coronated, but expecting that he would be, they started to produce memorabilia, and of course it never happened because he abdicated. So if you've got one of those, they're worth it.
Yeah, they're worth thousands. Yeah.
No, I haven't got one of them, sadly.
Bugger. Is that your drink thing?
Yeah. Look how my face is getting thinner. Can you notice? It's working. You can actually see my chin now.
I've got 8 to choose from.
Right. Yeah, well, I'm going to grow a beard and just hide it. So I did. That's the other thing at my age. Hairs. Fucking hell. Nanny go or what?
That's something I must admit I don't have to worry about. I haven't had to worry.
You're very lucky. I am very hairy.
Hirsute.
Hairy. French.
Hirsute.
Have you seen the...
Unlike Ian.
Have you seen those videos getting around with people getting the mass faces?
No.
Oh, have you? Oh. Or they
That's just new.
So they're even guys now are getting their whole faces waxed.
What the fuck for?
That's dang.
It's a thing now.
Dang.
It's a thing.
Well, that is.
So they get they get the whole nasal waxing thing happening.
Yeah. Pull them out.
And I love watching those because some guys are such pussies. They just can't handle it.
Must hurt.
Oh yeah, of course it hurt.
No, it don't. It's lovely. I love it. Love a bit of lip
But
waxing.
they're getting their whole faces done now.
Yeah, well, they're weird, aren't they? I liked him with the beard.
Going back to that conversation we had last time about people who mess around with their bodies and implants and everything, I spotted this came up. I hope you can see it. Archaeology or digging.
Oh yeah, you put it on. that was on Facebook, wasn't it? I saw that.
Yeah, that's where I picked it up from. Yeah.
That'll probably be right though, won't it?
Yeah,
that's right. Because the recording that got canned, I was talking about how I'd gone to buy clothes. Well, I was dragged out to the shopping centre to buy clothes for myself, and the woman in the shop there, she's had the whole lip thing done, and so I feel funny repeating myself when you all know the story. But anyway,
it's all right. We've forgotten.
So
yeah.
Because that's right. Because Dawn, you were talking about the fact of your body as you age, your body's changing, and there's different perceptions of beauty and that sort of thing. And when I look at this woman, when I go in, I just think the first thing that comes to my mind, that's fake.
Yeah, but you stick on the window well.
It doesn't, because I just think, well.
Yeah.
Why do that?
But I think a lot of it is insecurity, though, isn't it? About yourselves and what you think is beautiful, and I think it's sad more than fake, because I just don't understand.
It's a self-esteem. It's a self-esteem.
Where are they getting that notion from that it is beautiful? Where are they getting that from?
You know,
that's all they think.
Because celebrities,
have
done it, and because they're already celebrities. They're already getting the attention, and then they do it so they get more attention, and people mistake attention for ideology.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got a girl on
What a
TikTok. I
shame.
don't know. I've seen her come up a few times, and she's probably 27, and so she looks scary. She has contact lenses that are like bright blue. She has a pointed chin. She has lips, huge lips, and she thinks she looks good. And I look at her and I think, why have you done that to yourself? Because how is all this going to hold up in 40, 50
It's
years?
not.
It's not.
It's not.
Is it? No. I think it's
not
horrible.
because all that skin around all those implants will eventually drop.
Drop, yeah.
And it's going to be a very scary looking sight.
Yeah. I mean, look at Katie Price, Mike. You know who she is. I mean, she looks horrendous now. And she was once a pretty girl. She was.
And that's the sad part. Quite often these girls are pretty to start with.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even with TikTok, most people that do TikToks, I do them, but I do not do the filters because I think, what's the point? This is me. If you don't like it, don't watch me. But most of them are filtered. You just think, why? Why are you that insecure about your face that you have to make yourself look so not real? And I bet you what, most of you guys here, if there was normal beauty, false beauty, every time you would probably go to the real woman, wouldn't you? Well, I would if I was a bloke.
Yeah, real one.
Yeah.
Are we going down that road again, Don?
No.
You never know what tomorrow brings.
I do.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
What's the song? Don't Look Back in Anger, isn't it?
That's it.
No, but what gets me though is that if I know it's fake, and she goes home and looks in the mirror, what is she?
Beauty, or there's still room for improvement,
or what the fuck did I go and do to my face?
Yeah.
I think that comes later.
Do you think
I wonder
so?
how many have that regret once they do something dramatic.
I don't think they do. I think they see it as a beauty thing because they carry on having Botox and fillers. You know, if they thought that, Lisa, surely they'd stop. They don't. They get bigger and bigger.
Well, the trouble is when you stop, it actually is worse than what you started.
I suppose it's because I've never had anything done. But
Yeah, me either.
I don't understand it. I don't get it.
The only thing I ever did was overpluck my eyebrows in the 80s.
Well, the only thing I did was
exciting, isn't it?
shave it off.
I was going to say the only thing I've done is pluck me monobrow. That's all I've done.
Yeah, well, that's all right.
I think I did that in the past, actually. Yeah, I had that.
Actually, do you know what? The DNA test I did with Ancestry now has this thing called traits, and it tells you now what some of the things that your DNA suggests you may have. And one of them is I was or am more prone to having a monobrow. How's that?
Oh, yeah.
Well, there you go. Along with your ancestors.
I'm more prone to drink more coffee.
I
Apparently,
can relate to that.
Maybe we could be related.
What a
apparently
load of cobblers.
I'm a risk. I have a very strong risk-taking behaviour.
How can they get
Do
all
you?
that? What a load of
Well,
cobblers.
what it is that they.
What do you think you do, though?
I've got a bit of a risk-taking behaviour.
Okay.
It's waning as I get older. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't risk going to a different coffee shop and drinking coffee somewhere anymore. So
No,
that's why
he's
big time.
the serial killer in him is strong.
Yeah, that's gone.
Oh God.
Oh, did we get that in? Did I put that in? I didn't put that in the last one, did I?
No.
No.
Oh yes, you did.
That was something else we lost.
You did talk about the coffee shop going to the same place.
Yeah, and having the same.
You showed
thing.
a picture.
Yeah, so have you got? So now you guys have had a little bit of time to think about it. Do you see yourself having behaviours that when you were younger, you looked at older people and frowned upon, and went, but now
Probably
you do
watching the news.
No, I don't watch the news.
I think
See, I do.
Mine was spilling food down my front. My grandfather.
Oh, I do that.
Yeah.
And
That's
my
right.
nose runs. My nose runs like my granddad used to.
Yeah, I used to look at him and think, "What's the matter with? Don't you where your fucking mouth is?" And now I do it virtually every night. There's stuff down here. You know.
I get dressed for dinner now, Mike. I've got a special T-shirt I put on.
What, multicoloured to hide all the sins?